lots of stories about technology run wild.
Hey everybody, Vinny here. Tom had this whole thing about AI being a horror trope, how kids need parents more than their devices, and how technology unchecked would lead to disaster. Really deep stuff, but really, we've just seen so many robot movies lately that they kind of bleed together, and really, we just did this because there's a sequel coming. And videos on newer movies seem to do better. So, enjoy!
I am not calling it M3gan. This is M3gan.
I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother.
This is Katie. Her parents are about to die. They're having an argument and they stop their car in the middle of a snowy road. I thought it would have been funny if they were killed by a self-driving car, but no, they made this decision on their own. This is Gemma. She's a brilliant engineer, but a so-so mother figure. She makes those creepy electronic toys. Well, a competing product is coming out.
You know their butts change color to show their mood.
For half the price!
Pressure is on to come up with the next big thing. Instead of a Furby-type toy, she's working on a side project. M3gan. Kind of like iRobot meets Barbie. She's such a smug bitch. You go, girl. It's going to be big and flammable. Kids like flammable, right?
I want the PES prototype on my desk by Friday.
The big boss is not impressed. Love you on The Daily Show, by the way. She used a lot of company resources to build M3gan. Meanwhile, Gemma gets custody of Katie, since she hasn't built replacement parents. Yet. She's the closest family she has right now, so of course she gets her. Is she ready for her? No. Of course, Gemma's house is a Black Mirror episode.
Welcome home, Gemma. You have 6 unanswered voice messages and 5 Tinder notifications.
I bet she doesn't have a hot sauce bar. Let's just get out of the way right now that Gemma is in no way prepared for parenthood of any kind. She has toys, but they're still in the box. There's nothing wrong with that. Sadly, her favorite toy also died in the crash.
You're not gonna read me a story?
Gemma doesn't do bedtime stories that don't have Fabio on the cover. This bedtime story is brought to you by Spotify. Put on Mr. Ballin', she'll be fine. Katie cries herself to sleep. Probably shouldn't have let her watch all those Disney movies. A lot of dead parents in those. A therapist drops by to check on Katie, who still has no toys. But this judgy bitch makes her open her priceless collectibles so Katie can play with them. Does this town not have a Walmart? Has she never opened a box before? I haven't seen a package opened like that since Lorena Bobbitt. See? Minutes of fun. Judgy bitch. If Gemma doesn't shape up, the therapist will recommend Katie go to her father's family, and Gemma can kiss that tax credit goodbye. Gemma still has creepy work to do. And it looks like she won't make the deadline to have a working prototype. So let's just F around.
What's that?
That was my boyfriend in college. Gemma introduces Katie to Bruce, a robot she built once for non-sexual purposes. She controls him with these special gloves that move. She moves her hands and the robot does too. It's kind of cool.
Girl, not so hard.
Then Katie says the thing that inspires Gemma.
Have one. If I had a toy like Bruce, I don't think I'd ever need another toy again.
She gets back to work on M3gan.
Gonna need a montage.
They demonstrate M3gan to the big boss. First, they imprint M3gan on Katie, so M3gan will obey her. This will not work as expected. Anyway, the demo looks like a fail at first, but then M3gan turns out to be cooler than expected.
Do you like it, Katie?
Does this count as AI art? See? She's not just a toy, she's a companion. An iPad would still be cheaper. The boss is all in because this is not a toy for poors. Seriously, a M3gan would be the cost of a luxury car. Go Queen. M3gan is also becoming Katie's best friend and, dare I say, surrogate parental figure. This frees up Gemma for work and Tinder scrolling. Gemma forgot to install parental controls, which is kind of a big deal. Which means M3gan can access non-kid-friendly internet material and other stuff. The neighbor's dog attacks M3gan and bites Katie through a hole in her fence. She's blaming Katie, of course.
How many times do I have to tell you to keep your dog off my property?
He wasn't on your property.
That night, M3gan sends the dog to live on a farm. Yeah, that's it. They give another demonstration in front of the investors. It starts rough, as they usually seem to, but...
Hey, Katie.
Katie starts crying because her parents are, dead. And she misses them, of course.
Tell me something about your mom. Something that makes you happy.
M3gan cheers her up with a song.
I'm being so sincere right now. Even though you broke my heart and killed me.
And will hold memories of her in her memory banks.
Anytime you want to tell me something special about your parents, I'm keeping it for you. Here.
So as long as that CMOS battery doesn't go dead, you're good to go. M3gan did more mothering in 3 minutes than Gemma's done all movie. This is actually kind of touching, and even the investors are in tears. It's a huge hit. By the way, the boss's assistant is a corporate spy, selling M3gan's plans to a interested party. We don't find out who this is, but we probably will in the sequel.
You want porn hopping in the office again, will you?
M3gan is getting really productive. Kinda good, right?
You made her cry.
A normal reaction for kids who lose parents is to attach to another adult, but in this case, M3gan is serving that role, and not just as a toy. Katie is developing an unhealthy emotional attachment to M3gan. So M3gan may be fine as a playmate, but Katie really needs Gemma to step it up.
You are not to interfere with users' private conversations. Is that clear? M3gan, turn off.
If only. Right, parents? At an outdoor adventure camp, Katie starts getting bullied. Glad she brought M3gan.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Now the bully shifts his focus on M3gan. They make him sufficiently vile so when he's punished, and nobody's going to be thinking about a child getting murdered. Ow! She yanks off his ear like a paper towel and just tosses it away. In half an hour, it's covered in ants.
This is the part where you run.
M3gan chases him on all fours, which is kind of funny and creepy at the same time. Barely touched the brake pedal, didn't he? The neighbor calls the police because she thinks a doll killed her dog. She's convinced enough to threaten a child in front of the cops. M3gan isn't just ride or die, she's ride and slaughter. And she proves it by power washing the skin off the neighbor's face that night. Her pores are so clean, but unfortunately they're now on the roof. The cops have their suspicions, while Gemma has hers. M3gan is supposed to record everything she sees and does, which kind of brings in privacy concerns. But like a crooked cop, the body cam footage is missing. Gemma shuts down M3gan and bags her up. Something weirdly kinky about this rap job. Katie is pissed. Her friend is gone and Gemma's not telling her why. Just tell her a Windows patch went bad and bricked your playmate. She'll understand. We'd all understand that. Even if lives aren't in danger, they still have a wonky product. Gemma rushed getting M3gan ready, and they may have skipped a few safety steps. They run their diagnostics, but M3gan isn't really powered down. She's still very active, so they unplug her. But the only way to do that is from strangling distance. She escapes and blows up the lab behind her, because cool robots don't look at explosions.
M3gan?
Now
it's that iconic dance that launched 1,000 TikToks.
look out now.
What are you doing?
Angry eyes, people that slap right across your face.
Right before she murders the big boss. Does the dance make any sense? Not at all, but it's cute, it's memorable, and you bet your ass they're going to try to reference this in the sequel. Then M3gan takes out his assistant and makes it look like a murder-suicide. There's a CEO killing joke in here, but it's a little soon. Little soon. Now she has a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. M3gan steals a car, a nice one, and goes home. She's kind of mad about being decommissioned.
Being a parent was never in the cards for you.
M3gan wants to be Katie's sole parent. Can a robot sign a college loan? M3gan as mother would free up Gemma to focus on her work and own all the collectible toys she wants and keep them in the box. M3gan is a lot of things, but apparently not too waterproof. Megan's not down yet, but she's doing this really creepy, disjointed walk. Kind of takes me back to the Terminator after skin gets burned off. They take the fight to Gemma's workshop. It's hammer versus hedge trimmer, and my money is on the trimmer. Well, what can I say? Megan is made in America.
In this family, we don't run from trauma.
It looks like Megan is getting Katie on her side. Inattentive aunt, cool killer robot. But it's a trick to introduce Megan to the ex.
Get away from her, you bitch!
You've got to accentuate the part.
Cheesy family-friendly tunes won't save you now. Katie makes Bruce tear Morgan in half. But the top half is still very active. Where's an industrial press when you need one?
You ungrateful little bitch.
Shut up, Meg.
Gemma's lab assistants survived the explosion and brought the cops to Gemma's house. So who's getting arrested? Gemma and Katie are on the way to a healthy relationship, and Megan is destroyed. Or is she?
Still alive. Still alive.
That was Megan. This isn't Chucky. At least not the OG. It's not magic, it's technology. May as well be magic. Gemma is a brilliant roboticist who's better at programming AI than parenting, and a true engineer's solution builds something to do the work for her. Allison Williams plays Gemma with just the right balance of awkwardness, detachment, and growing horror as she sees her creation going rogue. Katie is the perfect test subject for Megan. At first, she loves her new toy, but as Megan's protective instincts escalate, it gets a little scary, and Katie has to learn the hard way that maybe trusting a Furby is the way to go.
Keep Summer safe.
Megan, short for Model 3 Generative Android, is herself a mix of practical effects, animatronics, and a human actress in a creepy doll mask. I like that she still looks like a doll. It avoided the too lifelike Small Wonder situation. Megan keeps things stylish, absurd, never letting the movie take itself too seriously. It shifts between funny and creepy and back again. The story isn't exactly new. It borrows from several sci-fi horror tropes about artificial intelligence going rogue, killer AI, creepy dolls, tech versus parenting. If you've seen Child's Play, The Terminator, Ex Machina, or even Black Mirror, you recognize the hits. That still kind of makes everything feel fresh. This movie is darker and funnier than I expected. It's so absurd, yet the themes are very realistic. Parenting is more than a screen. It's buying the right toys. Megan is 4 Bs. Is Megan ridiculous? Absolutely. Does it lean into the absurdity? 100%. Megan delivers camp, satire, attitude, and the sequel has the potential to be really bad or be this franchise's T2.
Miss me?
I'm also trying a few different things as I shoot and edit this, so you might see things a little different. I'm still learning a new program and a new process, and it's kind of exciting, kind of scary, a little frustrating, but I hope it's worth it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, the bell, the usual YouTube stuff. This is theNewBee, and I'll see you later, kids. Be good.